Music is more than sound. It's history, culture, and revolution wrapped into melody and rhythm. Every once in a while, a song comes along that doesn't just top the charts, but changes everything. These are the songs that break rules, inspire generations, and shift the direction of music forever. From Elvis Presley shaking the foundations of rock and roll, to Bob Dylan rewriting what lyrics could mean, to Nirvana tearing down the walls of mainstream pop, these moments shaped the soundtrack of our world. Each track on this list isn't just a song, it's a turning point. Together, they tell the story of how music evolved, how artists challenged society, and how melodies became movements. This is the story of 15 songs that changed the history of music forever. When Heartbreak Hotel hit the airwaves in 1956, it didn't just introduce Elvis Presley to the world. It rewrote the rules of popular music. Rock and roll was still finding its voice, and Elvis became the face of a new cultural revolution. The song, inspired by a newspaper story about a man's tragic death, was raw, emotional, and unlike anything else on the radio. With Elvis's deep voice and that bluesy, echo-heavy guitar, it shocked older audiences while electrifying teenagers. It wasn't just a song, it was rebellion. Heartbreak Hotel topped the charts, selling millions, and signaled that rock wasn't a passing fad. It made Elvis the first true rock superstar and opened the door for countless others. Without it, the 1960s explosion of rock bands might never have happened. Before the Beatles, pop was safe and predictable. But when I Want to Hold Your Hand arrived, it sparked Beatlemania and triggered the British invasion. In late 1963, the single reached America, and suddenly teenagers had a new sound to obsess over. The song was simple in lyrics but revolutionary in energy. Its harmonies, hand claps, and unforgettable hook were fresh, modern, and addictive. When the Beatles performed it on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1964, over 70 million people watched, forever changing television, music, and youth culture. This wasn't just another pop tune, it was the opening of a new era. In 1965, Bob Dylan broke every rule with Like a Rolling Stone. At 6 minutes long, radio stations didn't want to play it, but they had no choice. The song became a hit, proving that pop music could be both poetic and powerful. With its biting lyrics and electric guitar sound, Dylan bridged folk and rock, paving the way for artists to write music that was intellectual, political, and rebellious. It inspired generations of songwriters, from Bruce Springsteen to U2, to treat music as art, not just entertainment. When Brian Wilson crafted Good Vibrations, he wasn't just writing a song, he was reinventing how music could be made. Using a modular recording style, he recorded pieces of the track in different studios, splicing them together like a musical puzzle. This was groundbreaking at a time when songs were usually recorded live in one take. The result was a lush, layered sound with harmonies, theremin effects, and orchestral touches that felt futuristic. Good Vibrations showed the world that pop music could be art, complex yet accessible. It influenced not only the Beatles on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, but also every ambitious producer that followed. It opened the door for psychedelia, progressive rock, and the concept of the studio as an instrument itself. Originally written and recorded by Otis Redding, Respect was transformed by Aretha Franklin into a cultural anthem. Her version flipped the perspective, turning it into a demand for dignity and empowerment, not just in love, but in life. With her powerful vocals and commanding presence, Aretha gave voice to both the civil rights movement and women's liberation. It was more than a hit, it was a statement. The word R-E-S-P-E-C-T became a battle cry across America. The song redefined what soul music could represent, both emotionally and politically, and cemented Franklin as the Queen of Soul. Its influence can be heard in generations of artists who fused music with activism. In 1967, Jimi Hendrix unleashed Purple Haze, and the guitar was never the same again. With his innovative use of distortion, feedback, and the wah-wah pedal, Hendrix transformed rock into a psychedelic storm of sound. Purple Haze was raw, cosmic, and dangerous, perfectly capturing the spirit of the late 60s counterculture. Hendrix didn't just play guitar, he reinvented its possibilities, treating it like an extension of his soul. This song inspired countless musicians to push boundaries and experiment with soundscapes. Without Hendrix, hard rock, heavy metal, and even modern alternative music might have developed very differently. Marvin Gaye shocked Motown when he delivered "What's Going On?" The label wanted love songs. Gaye gave them a socially conscious masterpiece. The track was inspired by police brutality and the Vietnam War, blending soul with activism in a way rarely heard before. Its lush arrangements softened the pain of its subject matter, but the message was clear. The world needed healing. The song became an anthem for peace and justice, influencing not only soul, but the entire direction of socially aware music. Artists like Stevie Wonder, Bob Marley, and even modern rappers fall in owed Gaye's lead in making music that mattered beyond entertainment. Few songs carry the mystique of "Stairway to Heaven," starting as a gentle acoustic ballad and building into a thunderous rock climax. It showcased Led Zeppelin's mastery of dynamics and storytelling. Though never released as a single, it became the most requested radio song of the 1970s and a staple of rock history. Jimmy Page's iconic guitar solo and Robert Plant's mystical lyrics turned it into more than a song. It was an experience. Stairway redefined what a rock epic could be, influencing generations of bands from Queen to Guns N' Roses. It also helped solidify the album format as central to rock, showing that songs could be journeys rather than just radio hits. When Hotel California arrived, it captured both the glamour and darkness of the 1970s. With its haunting lyrics and unforgettable dual guitar solo, it was more than a song. It was a portrait of an era. The track blended rock, country, and storytelling in a way that defined California's cultural myth. Its mysterious metaphors about excess, fame, and entrapment still spark debates today. Musically, it was a masterpiece of arrangement, with Don Felder and Joe Walsh's guitar interplay setting a new standard. Hotel California didn't just top charts, it became a symbol of rock's golden age and its darker consequences. The world wasn't ready for the Sex Pistols when they screamed onto the scene with Anarchy in the UK. The raw, aggressive energy and sneering lyrics ignited the punk movement. The song was chaotic, simple, and explosive, rejecting the polished excess of arena rock. Punk wasn't about technical skill. It was about attitude, rebellion, and truth. Anarchy in the UK influenced an entire generation of bands, from The Clash to Green Day, and changed fashion, politics, and culture along with it. It proved that music didn't need to be perfect, it needed to be real. When Michael Jackson released Billie Jean, he became more than a pop star. He became the king of pop. The song's bass line was instantly iconic, driving a track that fused pop, funk, and R&B into something irresistible. Beyond the music, Billie Jean broke racial barriers on MTV, becoming one of the first videos by a black artist in heavy rotation. Combined with Jackson's moonwalk and legendary live performances, it changed what it meant to be a global superstar. Billie Jean wasn't just a hit. It redefined music videos, stage performance, and pop itself. Madonna was already the queen of pop, but, like a prayer, proved she was more than a provocateur. She was an innovator. Mixing gospel, pop, and rock, the song delivered a spiritual intensity that shocked and inspired in equal measure. Its music video sparked massive controversy with its religious imagery, but it also cemented Madonna as an artist who wasn't afraid to push boundaries. Like a prayer, elevated pop into art, showing that mainstream music could tackle deep themes. It influenced countless pop icons, from Lady Gaga to Beyoncé, who would later follow her blueprint of mixing spectacle with meaning. When Nirvana unleashed "Smells Like Teen Spirit," it was like a bomb going off in popular culture. Suddenly, the polished pop of the 80s was replaced by grunge, loud guitars, raw vocals, and lyrics of disillusionment. Kurt Cobain didn't set out to be the voice of a generation, but this anthem captured the angst of youth like no song before it. The success of Smells Like Teen Spirit pushed alternative rock into the mainstream, inspiring bands from Pearl Jam to Foo Fighters. It proved that music could still change the world overnight. Hip-hop was already powerful by the mid-90s, but California Love turned Tupac into a legend. With Dr. Dre's futuristic production and Tupac's commanding verses, the track became an anthem not just for California, but for hip-hop itself. It brought West Coast rap to global dominance and showed how rap could blend funk, street poetry, and radio appeal. Tupac's charisma and Dre's production created a blueprint for modern hip-hop, influencing everyone from Snoop Dogg to Kendrick Lamar. California Love remains a reminder that hip-hop was more than music, it was culture. By the time Beyoncé released Single Ladies, she was already a star, but this song made her an icon. Its catchy hook, minimalist beat, and empowering message turned it into a global phenomenon. The music video, with its iconic black and white choreography, went viral before viral was even a thing. Single Ladies became more than a pop hit. It was a cultural movement, inspiring memes, dances, and endless parodies. It also showed the power of digital culture, YouTube, and social media in shaping music history. Beyoncé redefined what it meant to be a modern superstar, combining flawless artistry with cultural impact. From Heartbreak Hotel to Single Ladies, these 15 songs prove that music is never just about notes and words, it's about power, passion, and progress. Every generation has its anthem, and every era has a song that defines it. These tracks didn't just entertain us, they changed how we listen, how we think, and how we live. They broke down barriers of race, gender, politics, and culture, reminding us that a song can be more powerful than a speech. And while the history of music keeps moving forward, these timeless pieces stand as proof that one track, one voice, and one moment can change the world.